Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Shireen. So today's video is kind of special. I'm actually giving off a mental health week series where I'm going to be posting 5 videos this week, Monday to Friday, for Mental Health Week, which is October 7th to the 13th. One thing I want to point out is I am so sorry if you hear any background noise like lawnmowers or babies in the background. Today was the only chance I could record most of the videos for this week, and all my family is home, so bear with me. I'll try to speak louder. And yeah, so today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a brief history on mental health, and I'm going to emphasize on brief because there's going to be certain times in history that I'm going to skip over or not go into detail over it, because if I was to sit here and make a video on everything mental health related and our history and give it in detail, this would be a really long video. So yeah, it's going to be brief, and yeah, I'm super excited to be doing this series with you guys, and I just hope that you guys enjoyed this and you learn a lot from this. And yeah, let's get into it. So first, I'm going to be starting with ancient world. So in that time, a lot of people were more spiritual and they were very religious back then. And so anyone who gave off any symptoms of mental health issues, they thought that they were like possessed by demons, and that they sinned or that they were cursed. They were mostly blamed for having these symptoms, and they were viewed and treated differently than other people. Ways that they helped, I don't want to say treat, because they didn't really treat the people, but ways that their form of treatment was either exorcism, that was very prominent back then, or they did a lot of prayers. And another thing that they did was a procedure called trephination. Not sure if I'm saying that right, trephination. And pretty much this procedure is that they drilled a hole in your skull, and they thought that this would help treat the demon possessing you by having the demon escape from the hole, so releasing the demon out of you. And I know you guys are probably thinking this is crazy. This was done back in 5000 BCE, and the reason why they continued for as long as they did with these procedure was because not everyone passed away during this procedure, so they continue doing it. Now, a guy named Hippocrates, which you guys should know, he kind of swayed away from the superstitious and the spiritual reasons of someone who had a mental illness, and he went towards a more medical and scientifical reason as to why someone is displaying these symptoms. And he really wanted to study the brain, and he also wanted to treat the people, and really were looking to care for the mentally ill. Skipping to the 16th century, around this time period, there was a lot of witch hunts, and a lot of people who displayed symptoms of a mental illness were either sent to jail, or they were sent to poorhouses or workhouses. And pretty much these houses were originally for people who were poor, and they gave free medicine and free education, but they accommodated a lot of people, including mental illness. And these houses were made to be harsh. They weren't made to be kind, and they weren't made to be caring. So, and those mentally ill people were sent to those houses. In the 17th century, terms like crazy and insane were popular, and they had a more negative connotation to it. And people treated mentally ill patients as animals, pretty much. They felt that the symptoms that they gave off were physical. They didn't see it as something that was mentally, they only looked at it as physical. And so a way for them to treat them, they thought that since they thought they were wild animals, They chained them up and they whipped them to suppress their animal instincts. And also, they had a lot of barbaric treatment. I know a popular hospital named Bedlam, they actually had people pay to see the patients as entertainment. Crazy, right? The 18th century kind of moved more to a more humane treatment, and little by little in the 18th century, it kind of improved a little bit. During the 19th century, asylums started to explode. A lot of people started to be admitted to asylums, and with this, the workers at these asylums they still thought that these patients were wild animals and they still had a barbaric way of treating the patients. And also the term schizophrenia started to appear and it was identified, and also asylums were termed as bad and not good. Now, the 20th century was a huge improvement in the mental health field. Asylums improved their image and they were turned into hospitals. The term mental health became popular. The term shell shock was identified after World War I, which, if you guys don't know what that means, shell shock was turned into PTSD. The first DSM was created. If you guys don't know what a DSM is, it's pretty much the Bible for psychology, and it means Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Disorders. Medication was improved, and it was a way to help alleviate the symptoms of mentally ill patients. Popular treatments like lobotomy and electroconvulsive therapy, sorry guys, but if you guys don't know what lobotomy is, they pretty much take like an ice pick object and they stick it up your eye and they poke at your frontal lobe. Somebody who is well known that had that was actually President JFK's sister, Rosemary Kennedy. And after she had the procedure, she was never the same afterwards. So it's a little history for that. I'm really into the Kennedy family, so I kind of knew that back. But they thought that this was a way to alleviate the symptoms of mental illness. So electroconvulsive therapy was a way to kind of shock the brain so it can give off different symptoms and stuff, and they use electrodes and all that stuff. So moving on to the 21st century. So right now we have the DSM-5. We've had many renditions of the DSM, but for right now, the DSM-5 is here, and it's here because it has a lot of research into it and a lot of experiments into it. And so yeah, we have come a long way in the field and we have a lot to learn, but it's really nice to see where we've came from and how we've come a long way with not only treating people, but how we think about the mentally ill people. Of course, there's still a stigma on mental health, but I feel like the more and more years go by, the less the stigma is on mental health. So thank you guys for watching my first video on my mental health my mental health week series, and I hope you guys come for tomorrow's video. See you guys soon. Bye.